He did not come to lecture about the past, but as the Son of God to unveil truth and rescue the world. Across centuries and continents, his words have crossed thresholds of culture and time, carrying light into human uncertainty. He spoke not to decorate history, but to awaken hearts. In his teachings are not mere sayings, but pillars that lift the soul. The path he charted is a living relationship that reshapes the inner life and redirects every step. These 32 lessons stand like beacons, guiding wanderers toward truth, freedom, and eternal purpose. At the foundation stands love. When asked for the greatest commandment, Jesus answered with clarity and fire. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. It is not a partial affection, it is the surrender of the whole self. In that devotion, a life comes into balance. Priorities align. Decisions find their anchor. From this first flame, the second is lit. Love your neighbor as yourself. Here, love becomes action, dignity given, wounds answered with mercy, not feeling, but decision. To forgive, to help, to honor, to care. In this way, the character of Christ is reflected, and the world sees faith alive. Forgiveness follows as a relentless rhythm, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. He revealed that forgiveness is not forgetting harm, but releasing the soul from chains of bitterness. It trusts divine justice. It ends the cycle of hatred. It opens the heart to grace. Every act of forgiveness becomes a victory of mercy over darkness. Then he turned to greatness, and he placed a child in the midst. Whoever humbles himself like this little one is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. In humility is true strength. Simplicity replaces pride. Dependence on the Father replaces self-assertion. The heart becomes teachable, and relationships are healed. This is greatness measured not by power, but by service and purity of heart. He set the compass of the soul toward an enduring priority. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added. Not the scramble for security, not the fear of lack, the kingdom first. When the will of God becomes the pursuit, burdens lighten, wisdom grows, and peace settles on the mind. The same voice then addresses the restless spirit. Do not be anxious about life. The Father feeds the birds and clothes the lilies. He knows every need. Anxiety loosens its grip when trust takes the lead. He warned against the reflex to condemn. Judge not, that you be not judged. Harsh judgment blinds the heart to its own need. Mercy opens the way to restoration. Only God sees the depths of each soul. The follower of Jesus becomes a companion in healing, one who prays, one who corrects with grace, one who understands and embraces. He taught prayer as intimacy, not performance. When you pray, go into the secret place. The Father who sees in secret will reward openly. It is not eloquence that moves heaven, but sincerity. It is a poured-out heart. There in the quiet, direction arrives. Strength returns. Comfort stands near. In the secret place, faith is forged, and peace beyond understanding becomes real. He then reached to the hardest places of the human heart. Love your enemies. Bless those who curse. Do good to those who hate. Pray for those who persecute. He not only taught it, he lived it on the cross. This love does not excuse injustice. It chooses grace over vengeance. It breaks cycles of retaliation. It frees both the offender and the offended. Such love is not natural. It is born by the Spirit and proves the power of the gospel. Generosity flows from the same well. Give in secret. Let not the left hand know what the right is doing. The Father who sees will reward. Giving ceases to be a performance and becomes worship. It is gratitude expressed in time, attention, and care. True giving grows the kingdom in unseen places and draws the heart closer to heaven. He called his followers light in a dark world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. To be light is to reflect his character in word and deed. Where light enters, direction appears. Hope rises. The task is not perfection, but transparency. The closer the heart draws to him, the brighter the life becomes. He also named them salt. In ancient days, salt preserved and gave flavor. So a disciple preserves what is good and brings taste to a tired world. Authentic living, integrity, compassion, truth. Without these, the soul loses its savor. With them, influence becomes a quiet revolution. Obedience is love. If you love me, keep my commandments. This is not a burden, but a joyful alignment with the wisdom of God. The one who obeys discovers that the commands protect, guide, and transform. Obedience forms a life that reflects Christ to the watching world. It is love with feet and hands. He spoke of truth that liberates. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. His truth does not simply inform, it transforms. It exposes the lies that bind and reveals the path that heals. Freedom begins not in power or possession, but in an encounter with Him who is the truth. In that light, masks fall and chains break. Then He invited a constant union. Abide in me, and I in you. As a branch cannot bear fruit apart from the vine, neither can a life bear fruit apart from Him. Abiding becomes a daily choice, trusting, listening, depending, following His voice. From that union comes strength for trials, wisdom for decisions, and comfort for sorrow. Fruit that endures springs from this living connection. He spoke to fear with a single call. Do not fear, only believe. Faith does not deny reality, it sees reality through the eyes of God. Even when everything seems lost, His authority holds. Faith becomes movement. Fear loses power. He described faith like a mustard seed, small yet alive. When rooted in God, it moves what seems unmovable. The value lies not in size, but in authenticity. A sincere trust opens doors and strengthens the heart. He called His people to vigilance. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. Spiritual life asks for attention. Alertness to the snares of sin. Alertness to distractions. Prayer sustains the inner fire. Without watchfulness, the soul drifts. With it, character stands firm. He honored mercy over empty ritual. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. He came for those who know their need and seek transformation. Mercy becomes the practice of those who have tasted grace. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. A peacemaker does not avoid conflict. A peacemaker brings reconciliation, listens, forgives, builds bridges. In choosing peace, a life reveals the family resemblance of the Father. He warned the heart against clinging to wealth. Where treasure is, there the heart will be also. Possessions are not the enemy, but they make poor masters. The true treasure is God Himself, and all that endures beyond dust and time. To invest in heaven is to practice generosity, compassion, and faith. That path brings a peace no currency can purchase. He called for wisdom that acts. Everyone who hears these words and does them is like a wise builder who sets a house on rock. Storms will come, winds will rise. The life built upon His word stands. Wisdom listens, prays, waits for God's timing, and chooses with discernment. Even He, the Son, lived by the Father's hour, never hurried, never delayed. Waiting became trust, and trust became perfect alignment. He chose service as glory. The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give His life a ransom for many. In the kingdom, the greatest is the servant. The towel in the hand becomes the symbol of true royalty. Service transforms hearts and draws the forgotten near. In service, the world sees God. He spoke of purpose as ascending. As the Father has sent me, so I send you. No life is an accident. Work, family, friendship, every place becomes a field for light, love, and truth. He chose His disciples to bear fruit that remains. Lives touched, hope restored, God glorified. In this mission, prayer meets the promise of the Father, and the ordinary becomes eternal. He blessed the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Purity is more than visible conduct. It is hidden intention made clean. Pride laid down, deceit abandoned. Transparency before God. Such a heart knows His presence and reflects His light. He lifted the eyes of the world to a final promise. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. These are not suggestions. These are living principles that lead to abundant life. To love when it is difficult, to forgive when it hurts, to wait when it feels delayed, to trust when answers are hidden. Here, on this path, freedom is found. Peace takes root. Joy rises. His words remain. They invite, they challenge, they comfort, they send. And in every heart that receives them, the light of Christ shines again upon the world.